primary. Hopefully that's working. All right. Yeah, that was definitely strange that I just popped right in there.
Super weird. I'm gonna
Yeah.
check out your audio.
I mean, even if I had
Make sure I'm
been here
okay.
before, I wouldn't have been here to the forge. I would have only come to.
Yeah.
Hey, Gaming Dragon! Wow, you were on top of things tonight. It's a little impromptu build video
I
with
think
Alaskankare.
my audio might be a little low.
Your audio, what, on my Discord?
My audio's really low on your YouTube.
On my YouTube. So I need to go to Discord and turn you up, correct?
If you've got me turned down, yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
How many snacks does it take to make a snack? Snack rat.
I got you at the maximum now, so we'll see how that sounds. Where else would I check? Wait, OBS?
Yeah, OBS to see how high you have up the Discord channel.
We didn't do a Discord channel. We had it through, we did it all through this desktop sound. So.
Okay, is that turned down?
No, it's up. About 3/4 of the way. Hey, Gaming Dragon, let us know how Alaskankare coming through. The other player. Yeah, so
Turn up mine.
yeah, I don't
on
have
my end.
a separate Discord channel. I'm glad my alerts are working.
How many snack rats does it take to make a snack?
Yeah, it's bouncing up into the yellow area on the OBS.
Okay. Well, it'll be what your viewers say.
Okay. All right, so still curious how I bopped into your world right where Durin's Forge was when I know I've never been here before.
Mm-hmm. Because you weren't in my world to help me activate this. It
Nope.
was Hubby and me.
Yep. Gaming says a little low, but I can hear her. Strange.
Yeah, so you might just have to pull it up more. Don't worry about it being yellow or red. It's basically how the people hear me.
Okay. I've pulled it up. Let's see how that works. Okay, yeah, so this was not a world I've been in before.
Yeah. Really weird, because I think even if you came, you would have only seen Betty's beds.
Right.
If you've been in any of my worlds. And I can't remember if you've been in any of my worlds.
Possibly been at the Frost. Oh, he's got thumbs up now, so that's better.
Okay, good.
So yeah, if I had been, it would have been at Frosthole, but I don't even think I was there. I think I was watching you guys on live TV. Anyway,
Yeah.
Gaming Dragon, we are going to see if we can make one of Alaskankare's famous towers to go around these ugly columns. Kind of a little challenge. I've seen people put like walls around them, and so we're going to try one of her towers. She's done a couple towers. Circular. She's figured out how to do it.
Let me go grab some more wood supplies because I forgot to grab some.
More wood supplies. Yeah, this is a character I just started with the Fellowship of the Streamers, so we're brand new in that one. We're doing going through making gear as we go on the hardest difficulty with nothing in our pockets but what we find along the way. Wow, that came down easy enough.
Yeah, nice.
Remember when this first started and you had to climb up and get every little floating piece?
Yeah, I'm curious if they've changed something.
Okay.
Right. So I'm going to drop some stuff down for you as well.
I am disappointed this floor didn't clean up a little better. That would have been nice.
Yeah.
Cleaned up some of the piles, but...
Unless you brought granite with you.
I did not. This character doesn't have granite yet. Hasn't earned granite yet. Yeah. She's got the Iron Hills armor on. That's it. So are you thinking we might have to do an oblong instead of a circle? Because of this, the way it juts out over here?
Well, oblong in the sense that I'm not quite sure if we can do a circle, because I've never done a circle without standing in the middle.
Yeah.
Other than at Jubo's place. So let's try. Let me think here. I'm trying to guesstimate what a square out from the edge of this debris would be.
Yeah. Where you can get the column down and not have it pop up on top of the debris, you mean?
Well, so we can figure out like where the center would be.
Okay.
Because if it's evenly distributed. See, now it depends on if you just want to wall this off, this backside.
Yeah.
Because the debris is going to be the same in every place, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the cookie cutter as far as the game floor and format. So I guess if I were building this at my place, I probably would square this off, and maybe the tower would just be what, curved around the front of it? The front and the sides?
Yeah, because would it matter if it's different?
No.
To
No.
you?
Just was looking for something that wasn't square. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We could
I'm just
even-
trying to figure out how big this thing is right now by using the squares
Okay.
to count spaces.
Hi, Rude. Little impromptu stream here. We're going to do a little building. Well, Alaska's doing some building. I'm doing some watching. She has perfected making round towers in the Return to Moria, and I wanted to see if we could put round walls around this. These great big ugly columns that the Troll King, I don't know if he made the columns or if he buried something around columns. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he destroyed what was here, right?
No, it
Because
seems like
of the
he...
fact that it's bigger than everything else around here.
Right.
It's wider than everything else. So if, like what you said, he covered things up, that would make sense. I think
Right.
that's even. Do these two corners look like they're the same? Kind of on the last side of the... Can't tell if those are even on the back side here.
Corners back here.
Well, I mean this back side, because you've got columns in the middle. You can't see straight across. This goes out one space beyond the debris.
Okay,
This
girl.
goes out a little bit. This goes out
My
one
daughter's
space above the
dogs were
debris.
babysitting while she's out of town, and she gets anxiety. She's having a little anxiety attack right now.
2, 3, 4, 5.
I think it was probably the ding
7,
from the
8,
from the
9,
chat,
10,
because like if
11,
the
12.
you know the fire smoke detectors, when the battery's out, it does that annoying little beep. Oh, she hates it. So I'm thinking it's the chat beep. So I turned it off.
Okay, so it's 15 across and 12 deep.
All right, what'd you decide as far
2,
as?
3, 4.
Oh, you're
5,
counting.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so I did do them right.
I can't hear you. Is
So
it
it's
because I muted that?
maybe. Because I'm talking. I'm talking in Discord.
That's weird. I
Did
couldn't
you?
hear you through my speakers. That was
Well, you
weird.
shouldn't hear me through your
Or
speakers.
my
You should hear me in
headset.
your headphones.
Yeah, my headset. So I tried to mute the chime on my laptop because the chime we've got it coming through the speakers on the laptop,
Oh,
not my headset. But when I
but all your sound is coming through the desktop.
just the ding, the rest, well, yeah, because my headset's plugged into
Yeah.
my, yeah.
So if everything comes through your desktop and that's what you're using for audio, if you try to silence something.
Yeah, I thought it would just silence the chime.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to let you out, huh? But then I can't supervise you. Okay, so what'd you decide here?
Poor little puppy.
Yeah, she's just one of those dogs. The doctor, it seems like the older she gets, the more it bothers her. So the doctor actually started her on trazodone. She's been on trazodone about a week now.
Wow.
I may need to take a break and go give her a dose. Yeah, we've always had to like sedate her on 4th of July. And the last few years, we just took the camper up to one of the state parks where they can't use fireworks and just stayed up there for a few days. Because we've tried, unless we completely knock her out, we could get her all loopy and everything and she'd still be panicked. So we just started leaving town. So that's the only thing I can think of. It's the ding from the chime. Huh. I've got the bedroom door closed because I got a sick kitty. And the vet wants me to get a stool sample. I'm like, yay, that sounds so fun.
Are you kidding?
No. So I have 5 cats.
Is it okay to capture it from the litter?
It is, but I've got 5 cats. So I've got her in here with me and the dogs and the other cats out. And I've cleaned the litter box hoping that she'll go tonight. I have to take her tomorrow afternoon. I called for an appointment and they're like, yeah, we can get you in June 2nd. I'm like, she hasn't eaten for 2 days. I don't think I can wait till June 2nd. And they're like, well, you can do a drop off for urgent tomorrow and it'll cost you. And I'm like, oh, goody.
Boy.
Yeah. And we don't have an emergency vet nearby, which is one of the other problems. So if I had waited a few days and then she got worse over the weekend, it'd be a 3-hour drive to the emergency vet. So
That sounds like what mine is.
yeah. Yeah.
That's
How
my
come
normal
that
drive
broke?
to any vet. It's like
Really?
2 to 3 hours.
You're pretty out in the boonies, huh?
Yeah. Let me try using wood. Trying to make something look distinguished. Oh, interesting. Okay. We could get rid of the block.
Rid of the...
That's the space you stand in. I was trying to put a tile on top so we had, like the other one.
But it won't work.
Because you have to have a space to stand in. But for some
gotcha.
reason it won't let me put a tile on top of this one.
Ooh. Probably the rock sticking out right there, jutting out.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, possibly. Possibly. I'm gonna have the same issue right here, probably too.
So you're using the grid to help you find a center, and then we'll have to take the grid up so that the columns don't snap to it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in fact, I could get rid of... This is the actual granite floor, though. Oh, there it is. Okay. Whew. For a second there, I was like, yikes!
Yikes.
It wasn't letting me... For a second there, it wasn't letting me take up the foundation. So in theory, we could try and do a circle that lets us land the last column in this corner.
Okay. Yeah, see, I figured before the troll got in here and put all this rock in here, this was probably beautiful. Because I'm thinking even up by the light, he probably put that stone up there. What do you think? By the ceiling?
Light.
Way up in the ceiling there. I wonder if he, like, built all of this stone and rock up in here. Or maybe that's...
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, or is that stuff that they couldn't remove when they made the forge?
Well, it's not that they couldn't remove it. Like my theory is what if they were in the middle of building it, and then they got kicked out by smog?
Could be.
Because wasn't it smog that came in and chased them out, or was it the
dragon?
Is smog a different mountain? That's Misty Mountain, isn't it?
I'm trying to remember. I don't know the lore as well as others. I know in that movie with the
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna die. I don't have the right gear.
Did you bring a weapon?
Yeah, I got an iron sword. They go back in the mountain. That's why they're on the quest, is because the dwarves want to go back into the mountain. So I wonder if this is the mountain.
Well, I don't see anybody.
Do you have the door locked?
Nope, it's open. They're not dropping in.
Yeah, that's interesting. False alarm. Yep, false alarm. The place I'm doing in my PlayStation world, I always hear the siege, but I never see the bad guys. They don't even bang on the doors.
Nope.
I often wonder if it's because the hearths are way in the center of that room. Yeah, I don't see anybody.
Yeah, but I don't have... The hearth doesn't extend up here.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of surprised they're not spawning at the top of the stairs, at least.
Yeah.
Because the hearth zone ends right before these statues over here.
I wonder if there's a way to turn off the chat ding in the streamer bot thing. I think that's what is upsetting her. Yeah.
So it's playing in your headphones and on the desktop?
Well, what Jubo had me do is put it in the speakers from the laptop itself, because when the ding was in my ear, it was so loud so I could hear the game and people talking, that the ding was incredibly loud. So they routed it so it would come out of the speakers instead of through my headset. And that's why I thought I could turn it down and it would just turn down the speakers, but it also turned down my headset too, or turned off my headset too. So, oh well.
If you, on your computer, I don't know if you can see my arrow, my cursor on my screen.
No.
Okay. So at the bottom of your bar, your office bar, right? Your Windows bar?
Yeah.
In the bottom right corner where it has your time, date, mic and all that.
Yeah.
If you double click on the speaker symbol, it should come up with like your settings there. Bluetooth, keyboard, brightness of your screens and speakers.
Yeah.
See the funky cables on the right side of your speaker? It says select a sound output.
Well, I got. So I'm in the system sound properties.
Well, you don't want to go that far, is
Oh,
what I'm saying. You don't go to system sound. It's just when you click on that box that has your like telnet and your speaker symbol and your battery on it. Are you on a Mac or a Windows?
I'm on a Windows, but it's not on my
Okay.
screen like I normally would see it, like on OBS. Let me close down some of this and see
It
if
would be
it'll
whatever
show.
your main monitor is selected as.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's where the game is.
You might have to minimize the game.
Oh.
You
Yeah,
might have to
we'll
put your
just.
be right back screen on for a second.
Okay. I'll be right back.
And then let me know when you can.
primary screen back on.
Before you do that,
Before I do
I'm
that,
going to show you. I'm going to show you. that we were going to have to try and do basically an oblong circle anyway.
An oblong circle anyway.
Yeah.
How come I wasn't seeing? Oh, there you are. Seeing your chat, but I see it now. All right, back to the game. Sorry for the interruption, folks. Got dog anxiety going on here.
Yep, I got good sound.
Good.
Yep, I got good sound.
All right, so you decided we needed to do an oblong shape.
Right, because I'm not sure if we can use my normal method.
It's okay, Gaming Dragon, because I had to do a be right back. I've got a dog having an anxiety attack. Had to go get her some medication. Tried to put her in her bed, but she's not having it. But
Because if we
welcome
tried
back.
to do a full-on circle, right, it
Yeah.
would be way out here. It would be ginormous.
And it would take up so much of the floor.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I'm thinking an oblong is going to have to be it. But we might be able to still use the squares as a reference.
Okay, I see how that's going to be how much it comes out.
Well, either that, because the difficulty is the debris field, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the debris field, or we just mimic I mean, we could just run around here and
No, I'm
lay it as
okay
we
if it's a
go
bigger,
around the circle.
I'm okay if it's a bigger tower.
I mean, I wonder if that's actually easier, is just to
Yeah, it's more
do it by
about
hand.
the uniqueness of it. You know what I mean? Not if it's too big or too little. All right, Gaming Dragon, what are you going to stream yourself? He's going off to stream himself, or their selves, I should say. Okay, I don't know how you do that.
Well, give it a try. You just put one down. And you can see as you move forward and backwards, it'll glide. And you kind of just want to try and do it on a consistent basis. And that's why I like using these, because they have the grooves on them. So it makes it a little bit easier to figure out the consistency.
No.
Like if you're going to do like to one line to the next line kind of thing.
Now, in
Once you
order
see
for
one
it to be
groove.
flush on top, though, it wants to go up. The other ones
Well, then
must
you
have
might-
been elevated a little.
You must be, well, I don't know. Can we tell? They look flat on the ground. Ooh, are they not? Let me freak
See, to
in.
get it up top, yeah, see, it's not flat on the ground. To get it to match up top.
Oh,
So it's trying to sit on top of the
Interesting.
debris.
oh, snap.
Doom the Dark Ages. Ooh, I haven't heard of that one. I'll have to check it out. So many games that I have never played.
So we'll probably have to lay some granite down underneath it afterwards.
After,
We don't want to do it now because,
then it'll snap to it.
well, even the granite's not going to lay down, I don't think. Yeah,
What
the granite's going
about
to sit up
an
high.
adamant, like the adamant barrier that it'll sink, right? And then you can snap
Yeah,
it
but
underneath.
the problem is then you have trouble getting it level because it wants to sink down into the adamant. Just like everything wants to sink down into the adamant.
Yeah, gotcha.
So I hate adamant. Oh, I didn't bring any with me anyway.
Well, that solves that problem.
Well, hello. Interesting.
So it's kind of floating. So at some
I see
point it
that.
was touching. No, it's not touching anywhere. Well, not touching the floor.
It's touching debris.
It's
yeah.
touching debris.
Well, we can see how bad that is by trying to go up. Because if it's really not touching anything, it'll start turning yellow right away.
Ah, okay.
Nope, that's not what I was trying to do. Holy shnikey.
Let's see. Oh, you use a column, duh, the shaft.
Well, those all look, even though they're not sitting on the floor, those all went in solid. I didn't get any color variation.
No, no color variation.
So even though they're not actually touching the ground by looks, they are touching a solid.
Yeah.
I hate that noise. It's terrible. It's terrifying. Why do they gotta make it sound like glass?
What do you
All
want
right,
it to
so
sound like?
Not glass.
Not glass.
So let's try encapsulating this all the way around. You put the
Okay.
base down first, right?
Okay.
And then we'll put at least 1 or 2 rows up, and then you'll get an idea on if you like that or not.
So I can't
If
make
it's-
it completely curved. I'm going to have to let it come out a little bit because I have to get that oblong, right?
Oh, now I see. Yeah, it is. This side's getting down low. Maybe if we find a side that's lower than the rest, we just go from there.
I'm probably
But I
not
think it's
doing
gonna
this
bump
right.
up anyway.
Do you like
I'll
them to
come look in
be
a second.
squished more together? Yes, you do. Okay, so there's not as much of a gap. Okay.
I would say at least to a quarter to half in.
Okay.
Unless you're not planning to take windows out.
You mean take out a chunk so I could put in a window like you did in your castle?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Probably wouldn't put a window in this because it's for camouflage. I might put, some vines or something on it.
I don't think I went out far enough on this one.
Yeah, getting it to be along the top, match along the top, but also be slightly curved is definitely a challenge. I know Eppers talks a lot about making your controller be more sensitive, like, to do finer movement than you can, like you can with a
It
mouse.
got like super dark over on this side. Why is that? Safety torch.
Yeah, I'm not nearly as smooth as yours.
Well, I have had some practice.
Yeah, and that drop down, is that okay?
Yeah, that's what I was just seeing, that it did drop down.
Ah,
It's not really going to matter so much because we're going up as high as you want, right? So
right.
from down here, you're not going to notice it. You'll see a little bit of difference in the pattern. It's just whether or not that's going to bug you enough
Right.
to matter. I mean, I had a lot worse. Have you seen the tower I put out in front of Frosthold?
The original one you were working on? Is that the original?
very first one I built?
Yeah.
Did you see how it was skewed on the one side?
Let me think, because I know you also did one there that was kind of up like a half wall too against one of the
Right,
walls.
that was one of the first ones I built.
Yeah.
Aside from my very first test case, which doesn't exist over there anymore. So I took it down. Took it down for the demo test. But we can pop over there really quick. and it'll give you an idea what that looks like when they're skewed.
Yeah, if you
know what
want
I mean?
to.
Sure.
You've got these so much closer together than I can.
Well, and it depends on what the angle looks like is.
So it's the same world, right?
Mm-hmm. It's
Okay.
just Elven Quarter.
What do you call it?
It's Elven Quarter.
Just Elven Quarter, okay. You didn't name it for your base?
No, because at the time, we couldn't figure out why hubby wasn't seeing the custom names.
Oh, that's right. On the boxes. Yeah.
Because the setting is see custom names of dwarves.
Okay.
It had nothing to do with the way it was phrased made it sound like I see your dwarf as Nisa
Right.
and not as gaming grandma.
Correct.
Right?
Uh-huh.
That's what it made it that's what that setting makes it sound like it is.
Right.
Right. So if you turn it off, there's nothing in there indicating that you're able to also edit and see custom
Box names and map names.
box names and stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Right.
So you have to have that on as well if you want to see the dwarf name and be able to see boxes. So he just happened to have that on.
Not just see it, but to edit.
To edit. Ah.
Because he had it off, he could not edit any either. It never
Okay.
showed up as an option.
Interesting. Yeah, I saw you building, oops, I saw you building this one.
Yeah, so, and here you can see where there's they were slightly offset because I hadn't perfected my circle technique yet.
Right.
But over here you can see what happens when the land interfered.
Ah, it becomes staggered. It gets
it's staggered, yeah.
The height.
It took a lot of fiddling. If you notice at the top, they're all the same height. Took a lot of fiddling with burying them at varying heights to get them to be level at the top.
Oh my goodness, that must have took hours.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a pain.
And is that this one down here, your original tower?
Yeah, this is the Wizard's Tower.
The Wizard's Tower.
I gotta go double check to make sure nothing's falling apart anyway.
Isn't this cool, guys? You that are still watching. This is awesome. I believe you're the first one that ever did a tower, right? It's an original.
Yep. This was the test case.
The test case. How long do you think this took you to do?
A couple sessions, I think.
And I like how you use the blocks to make your spiral staircase. That works out. The granite floor pieces.
Yeah, and in Jubo's, hers is even bigger than this one.
Yeah.
So it was big enough to actually use stairs.
Oh, the one in our fellowship world.
Uh-huh. But this is a 4-story tower.
Wow, nice view.
You can kill yourself by jumping off of here.
Oh, well, we don't want to do that then. Oh, thanks for messaging me nice, Rude, because now I can tell it's not going to ding and scare my dog. So thank you. We figured it out.
Oh, let me throw a message in your YouTube and double check it.
Yeah. I'll just have to remember to go back in and turn it up when she's upstairs with her mommy. But her and my grandson went to a concert up in Portland. So. Testing ding. It did not ding. Thank you for your help on that, Miss Alaska.
You're welcome. Now you're going to have to remember to turn it back on.
I know, right? That is just the coolest thing ever, that tower. It almost looks like a face with the two windows
I
at the
know.
top and the nose, right?
Yeah, and then the mouth way down low.
Like a little happy face or something. Looks like it's about to chomp and eat that Muznakan chest.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
What happened? You're in the wall.
I think the game's about to crash.
Game's about to crash. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I just
frozen.
see you running into a wall. Like
Yeah, I see.
Like you're boxing it.
We crashed it!
Oh, there it goes.
Come on!
Bummer.
What the heck?
Okay, guys, gonna put it on the Be Right Back screen.
God. and on Xbox and PlayStation, and we aren't all playing on super skookum high-end $8,000 gaming machines.
No, I have a, gaming laptop, and I've been told it's a really good one, but it's certainly not like a PC.
Well, I know, but those developers
Yeah.
have $8,000, and the people they have testing probably have $8,000 machines, probably.
Right.
So they never see an issue.
They don't have things crash.
Right, probably.
Oops. Close the door on myself. All right,
I've noticed that's a lot easier to do too.
To close the door on ourselves?
Yeah. Have you noticed that?
I do it all the time.
I didn't used to.
No.
I do now because the timing's off on stuff.
Yeah.
As we've all noticed with buttons. The timing's all off. I mean, the other night when I was trying to attack and swing my weapon and there was a whole second delay, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, so Durin's Forge.
Dora Delve, Durin's Forge.
That sidetrack crashed the game.
Oh, man. Okay. I am now out of food and starving. I only had one limbus on me.
What?
I know. I told you this character came from a brand new world. We've only had one episode.
It's a good thing I brought extra limbus then.
Yes. Thank you. All right. So, am I going to continue, or are we making any adjustments?
Well, I say let's keep going.
Okay.
I mean, this gives you practice time too, right? Before you go into your world. And then I'd like to put it up at least 2 layers on top. Just to see what it looks like.
Stability.
Well, to see what it looks like for yourself. So you can figure out. Because you'll get a better idea of what the result is of not having them spaced out evenly. And if it not being completely circular bothers you.
I just don't know if I'm doing a decent, halfway decent job.
It looks like it to me. They look pretty evenly attached. But that's why I like using this column, because it has those notches on them, right?
Yeah, so it's kind of easy to...
So you can kind of use the notch to guess on... The one thing you have to be careful of is if you change perspective, because the column will turn on you. It always faces you the same way. Oops. It always faces you the same way. However, as you go around in a circle, you are changing your perspective.
Gotcha.
So you just have to be careful that it's aligned the same way. You'll be able to tell right away if you screwed it up.
Oh, okay.
Because you'll be like, oh, look, that one's got ridges and that one doesn't. Okay, so
Ruffles
now I'm
have
seeing
ridges.
yellow. And they're good. Except I found that they seem to be more salty now than they used to be. Or my taste buds are picking up the salt out of it more.
Yeah, I haven't found another potato chip, though, that you can use for dip, so...
Oh, we've got some really good ones.
Yeah.
I also like, there's, what the heck's the name of it?
My husband likes
I
the
bet
kettle,
you guys
the
get 'em,
kettle
'cause they're
chips.
Yeah, but not the Lay's ones. There's another brand out there that does like a sea salt chip. We haven't gotten them in a while though, because we're trying to not eat chips anymore.
Trying to eat healthy.
Yeah. We're gonna give the carnivore diet a try.
I actually had a patient try that, and her anxiety went away.
Yeah, it's supposed to do some amazing things if you can stick to it.
Yeah. I was really surprised.
Did she go full on or
Yeah.
just part way?
Full on carnivore. She's lost weight. She feels more energy, and the anxiety is gone. And I thought, I mean, I know food can make a difference, especially in kids, you know, especially kids with ADHD. But I didn't see it. I didn't know it could change anxiety in an adult like that so significantly. Okay, now that I'm getting to this pillar, or this column right here, I probably can't go behind it.
I stopped at the column. Yeah,
Okay.
I stopped at the column.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that gets you to where you wanted to do, right? Cover it up.
Yeah.
You might be able to get one in there. There you go.
Probably could even, you know, make a curve back here, or we could just put a wall.
Yeah.
So how did I do? Not as tightly spaced as yours. In fact, these
Yeah.
aren't very tight at all.
These right here look super tight.
Yeah.
See how they're right in there? So you
Yeah.
might have got those a little too tight. This
Yeah.
one looks like you got to
Now, can you
this
put
one here.
another one in it to kind of fill it out?
You can try. There you go.
How's that look? Yeah, and there's quite a bit of a gap. So it's just perfecting your spacing, because I definitely like it when they're closer together. But if you got enough granite, you can always fill those gaps.
Yeah. The caveat with this building technique is at any time when they do an update, it can totally change how these work, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it might be better to delete a bunch and then just reset, as opposed to trying to punch
Fill
them
it
in
in. Okay.
there. Yeah.
All right.
Because you definitely want to have the bottom layer set the way you want it. Because the additional layers on top are super easy. Because unlike how these, you can pass them back and forth between the one next to it. When you start doing the layer on top, they snap to the one below.
I see. Okay.
So that's
Gotcha.
why you
That makes
gotta
sense.
really take your time with the first layer. And be patient. Which is hard for those other guys to do, because they're just like wham, 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 wham. No! You could do that with barriers. You can't do that with this. You have to take your time.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen Merrick building that tower, because he built one.
Yeah.
And I just bet he was probably cursing up a storm.
Cursing. I would have liked to have seen it, because
he doesn't have a lot of patience sometimes, I think.
All right. So then the other question is, how high do I take it up there? And how high could I take it up there? Because, you know, you'd have to have a ladder or a lot of scaffolding, probably scaffolding.
Yeah. So go ahead and hop on top, because you can still climb on this. And that's where filling it in may make this difficult for you to do. 'Cause
Gotcha.
You've got some sitting right on top of each other.
For as far as the
So
snapping. Yeah.
Yeah, let me,
Go ahead
there's
and take
one
them
in here I
back
see we
out.
can get rid of.
Yeah. Your head's right in the hole there. Oh,
What?
no.
Oh, I'm sitting on top of it.
What I see is your face is stuck inside one of the granite pillars.
Yeah, I'm standing on top. Oh, interesting.
Is the game about to crash again? Oh.
I hope not.
Oh, now you're moving. Yeah. That was weird. It looked like you got put in the corner. You had your head up against the wall in the corner.
Yeah, I just see some weird double ups here. Okay, so that should help you out.
Okay, so putting a column shaft now.
Yep. Shaft. Ah.
Okay. Now you would still have to squish these
You've
together.
got one more. You've got one more to do. You started too far out.
I started too far out. Okay.
See this one here? It has a notch for that doesn't have one on top of it. I don't know if you can tell that.
Let's see. So
Yeah,
a
see that?
notch.
Well, I mean, it was
Oh,
after you put that one down. You put one for this one where I'm climbing up here, but you missed the one next to it. So just make sure it's matching that first one.
as far as how much it sinks in.
Yeah. Let me see if I can watch you on your screen.
Yeah, it really wants to snap out.
Oh, and don't forget to rotate it.
Oh, rotate it?
Mm-hmm. You've got grooves out. There you go. That should be the one. No, there you go.
Like that?
Yep, you got it now.
Okay,
You
see,
did
I
it.
wasn't worried about grooves out. I hadn't even thought about that, about rotating it. So you have to rotate it so the groove isn't as obvious?
No, you got to match your pattern below. Because here you got the flat side out. Because of the way, and that's going to happen, right? As you go around in a circle, your flat sides will become the grooves. Because it keeps the same orientation.
Now this seems like they're spacing apart. No, I guess they're not. I've just,
No, they're matching.
yeah.
If you miss one, you'll be able to tell it that you missed one because there'll be a notch sticking out without anything above it.
Now
That's how I could tell that you missed one.
do I need to be sinking these into one another?
No, it naturally, all you need to do is make sure that you're setting it to be on top of the one below, that it matches. And sometimes I found it easier to do that when you're standing on top of it, standing on the row.
Oh, I see. When they're closer together, they just snap right together.
Yeah.
So those
Because
ones,
you're focused on the row below it, not the column next to it.
gotcha.
You're focused on the row below it to make sure it's matching the pattern below it on the row below.
Okay. So this thing where I've got a little bit of a notch because they weren't sunk into one another as well.
Yeah, they weren't lined up as good.
Now yours obviously are nice and tucked in, nice and tight. So it really has to do with what kind of texture too you want on the outside, right? A light smooth texture like that, or one with a little more ridges?
Well, and you're going to get it no matter what, right? It's going to change from ridges to flat because the game doesn't orientate, the game's stuck to 45 degrees, right? Or 90 degrees.
90 degrees.
Yeah, so you can't rotate things more than that in a smaller degree. So there's no way you're going to consistently have the face sticking out because it doesn't rotate with your person.
Gotcha. Okay. So now I got to
The only way
decide.
you would make it uniform is if you used the regular columns. Well, actually, even that you're not going to because they have different faces, right?
Right.
So the only way it would look uniform is if the column piece was uniform in its circular fashion.
Yeah, that's not
But
even
it's
really
not.
a complete circle.
No. None of them are circular.
Right. Because of the ridges.
The
and
large
stuff.
column shaft is actually oblong.
Oh, I see that.
So
Now, would it work any better on your tower? Does the shape of the column piece itself make a difference?
well, like I said, I actually prefer this column section because one, it's twice as tall as the other short sections, right? I mean, look at how shorter that is.
True.
And with the game having issues with number of items, it's like a no-brainer to do only 2 sections of this column
Right.
as opposed to 4 of these
Gotcha.
for the same space, right?
Yeah.
It reduces the amount. And it's easier for me, because of the way these ridges are and the flats are on these columns that we're using currently to get a consistent lineup.
Okay.
But that's me. I mean, you practice with different ones and see what you like. I
Yeah.
also have found that those other bigger columns have a little bit of an instability issue with them.
The granite ones or the adamant lumps ones?
Yeah, those big ones. Well, no, there's 3 sizes of columns in the granite. And those bigger ones that are oblong, I found seems to have more instability when you mash them together than these columns do.
Okay, so we got that one. That one.
And this full one seems to snap together more than it does allow you to mesh.
So using
So
the shafts
that-
and the bases
Yeah.
works better than these.
Yeah, I don't use those at all. So
Okay.
if you were going to use it, you would use these guys. You see how much smaller they are?
Oh yeah. So it'd take two, at least two for each of the other height of the other ones.
Twice as many pieces of stone. Which you can do because that's how I built that. Both of those, well, not both of them. The one that goes around at the front of the frost hold.
Yeah.
The 4-story tower I made out of these guys. And that's when I was like, wow, I like those better.
Okay.
Because they were so much easier to get the initial laydown right.
And you can easily take some out to make a window. And did I see that you would put in like a little, what'd you put in here? Like a granite railing or something for the window?
Not
No, that doesn't work.
I don't think I did that on the round parts.
Oops, did I
Oops.
just take out your scaffold?
That's okay.
I thought I saw a window you did that had these in there.
Yeah, but that was walls.
That was
they
walls.
were flat walls. Yeah. I might have just put a torch only in the tower section. I gotta think about that. Did I put... If I put railing in, I made sure it was at the 4 compass corners. North, south, west. Because that's the only way you could get the railing to sit in there properly. If it's on a diagonal section, it's not going to do it.
Okay.
Right?
Gotcha.
So I would have strategically removed sections of window that only would have allowed, like here.
Oh, gotcha.
See, there it sits straight.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have to, find your compass points.
So it wouldn't sit at an angle.
Right.
Okay.
You can't just randomly pick a spot. You have to be strategic about it.
I know. The last build I was doing, it's like I really want
I almost slipped too far.
Then you'd be stuck in there, huh? Yeah, I wanted to put like a shield wall on a curved area, and I'm like, oh, duh, that's not gonna work there. So, okay.
So I'll work this side if you want to work the other side.
Oh, to go up the rest of the way?
Yeah, let's go up one more layer at least.
Okay, I gotta do the other side over here, all the way around. Let's see. So then aesthetically pleasing, how would it look gaudy to have it on both sides? That'd be the other thing. To have
Gaudy,
the
like, what do you mean?
Aesthetically, would it look worse than having the rock there, I guess.
Or building a square wall.
Yeah, or leaving it natural. Because when I've been to a couple of the worlds that have built, like Jubo built her big warehouse, I believe in Durin's Forge. I don't remember now, but I think she put walls around it, and the way she built it, you couldn't really even tell. Okay, so what I do know.
Well, that's how the warehouse is done. Have you seen the warehouse?
I think so. Yeah, I think Gingy took me to that. Because the Kiri character for our triple Ds, I had given her pictures of the Kiri from my PS5 world. And so I made a new character for my PlayStation called Kiri, or for my PC, and she didn't have anything, so she took me to Lionheart's warehouse to get supplies, like armor and...
Oh, here's the trick that you'd have to do.
What's that?
Is make sure they're even, right?
Make sure what? The top?
Those columns are not even. Because the other one's always is going to be more to the left.
What's going to be more to the left? The tower itself?
The rock column on the right.
Yep.
Sticks out towards the center of the room more than the rock column on the left.
Gotcha. I see that now. Yeah. So if I do put another tower around this one, it's not going to be very centered. It'll actually...
Well, not from the stairways, right?
Right.
Uh-oh. How do I get rid of the foundation?
Yeah. And it ends up coming into this nice seal that we can't clean up, which would be nice if we could.
Yeah, it's... I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get why they would restrict us to specific squares, right? A specific grid system for building, and then not use that same grid system to build the world. That's what I don't understand.
I'm not sure I understand what you don't understand. If they use it to build the world, if they use the
developers...
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the developers created the game for us to build.
Right.
Using a grid system.
Gotcha.
But when they built the buildings that we are, according to their game mechanics, supposed to rebuild, they did not use that same grid system.
Huh.
So that is why you end up with one column more over to the left. Gotcha. And the other column more over to the right. You know, more in the center. That's why, like, in my aftermath, I realized those star points, the stair points, the pointy stairs, they're not equidistance apart because they didn't measure it. So when you go to put tiles down, floor tiles, to go across them, mm-hmm. They do not line up with the points because the points are not set at equidistances.
Huh.
So, and it's not until you start building something, because by eye it looks okay, it looks close enough, but the minute you start building something and you're trying to put in a wall or put in an archway, you suddenly realize you're off by almost half of 3x3 tile at the end, and they're not lining up because the builders didn't use the same build system that we are stuck with using when they built the world.
Interesting.
So nothing's symmetrical, and things don't line up with anything we try to build with.
Which certainly makes you master builders frustrated.
Oh, I don't know if I call myself that. I have not been messing with it as much as everybody else. But like for instance, right? This stairway you think would be in the center of the room.
Yeah, I would think it would be in the center of the room.
But I bet if we started with walls, we couldn't start with walls being even. Because I bet this space here is not exact.
Hmm.
And I bet if I go to lay down a wall, it's not going to line up with the wall that's here.
Okay.
How much you want to bet? Let's see.
Let's.
Because it snaps, right? Or it's supposed to snap. Not snapping. How about a floor? It's going to show me wrong. Oh. I thought stuff would snap to the floor like it used to grids.
It's not? Let's see.
It will once I lay one tile down. Is it all off of the one tile? Okay, so I'll put a tile down.
So, are you putting, you started it at the corner there?
Well, yeah, let's do that. Let's start it at the point. I can't find the foundation.
With the edge in the center of the point?
Yeah.
Like that? Now if I took it back too far, it made it want to pop up.
We're getting digressed.
That's okay. I don't mind. I learn every time.
So then you would think this is going to be 2 sections across. Okay, so maybe they took time with the stairway.
Yeah, that one looks right. At least on the surface it looks right.
But I found where, it doesn't work like that all the time.
And I wonder, like, how far to this wall? How many?
So like here, this one, see when you get to that notch, this notch on the wall, see it's not the same number of wall segments. So if I wanted to build out a wall on that top block and make it line up with the wall section that goes up here, I can't. Because it's not full wall segments. Even though it looks like full wall segments when you look at these, right?
So you're saying that if you put another archway here, if you keep going, it's going to end up being off? What did you mean?
Oh, nothing snaps to the columns here.
Oh.
The in-game columns? That's weird. What did they do? Things would always snap to the in-game columns, like in Narve Forge.
Yeah.
You've built in Narve, right?
Yeah.
Look, I'm trying to snap something to the... Try and snap something to this column.
It just
Nothing will snap to it.
It sinks right in. Yeah, it sinks.
I wonder if they... God, I hope they didn't change that because I need that... I need that snapping feature.
Yeah, you can go in as far as you want, pretty much. Forward, backwards. It doesn't snap.
Yeah, so see we're like half a section off.
Now my curiosity is it the same on this side?
I don't know.
As far as how many wall spaces. Like if there's 10 on that side, is there 10 on this side? Just out of curiosity.
But I mean, these are the things that drive people nuts.
See, there is more of a gap on the other side.
There is, yeah. Uh-huh.
So it's hard to get things centered and square. And this is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, it's pretty close. But no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Yeah, 7.
And it's not until you like start to build in like Narve Forge and you're trying to space something between two columns in the forge, and then you realize they're not equal spaced apart.
Right. Well, there's 7 chunks on each side, 7 walls on each side.
Yeah, this one's not as bad as I've seen others be.
Yeah.
So maybe they actually took some time with it.
Yeah. And maybe the distance just looks different because of the way the game wall.
Wouldn't it be great if you could
out.
knock this rock column out?
Oh, I know, right? Could really build nice. See, my assumption is that these big adamant columns, that there's duplicate ones under here, under this rock and stone. That was just my thought. Because he talks about he's the king of, I don't know if he says rock and stone or stone and rock. So that's why I think, oh, he made these piles.
I don't know. I'm too busy killing them to care.
Yeah, and see, I'm thinking he broke something over here, right? Because this looks like there was columns or something over here that got broke. I always wonder if in their minds when they built this game and built these rooms, if they went, oh, it's going to be broken here because, right? If they have their own little theory or story behind why the room has rocks here. I mean, if I were to ask the developers, I'm going to be like, oh, is that a stone and rock that the troll did? Or is that something that didn't get finished before the orcs took over?
Yeah, this one we're going to have trouble with because you can't get rid of the foundation here.
Oh, it won't go away now?
Yeah, it's stuck underneath the debris.
Wicked.
So
now the columns
I
is
would
going
have
to
to
want to
come
snap
out a lot
to it.
further.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you follow your curve here, you'd end up on top of it.
I'm trying to see if I can work through it.
Wow, it really bumped up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, that's part of the debris, I think.
That little decoration on that reminds me of like a sergeant or staff sergeant stripes for some reason. Konoi. How come that didn't come up on my streamer bot chat? It just came up on my YouTube chat. That's strange.
That is an odd question. You don't ask a lady her age.
Well, I advertise myself as a grandma. But it's weird. I see his text on my YouTube live chat, but it didn't come up on my streamer bot live chat like everything else had been. Huh. My age is 61, 62 in June. My husband also plays, and I tease him a lot that he's really an old man because he's 10 years older. But that's weird that it didn't pop up on the OBS chat. Because it's supposed to, right?
Mm-hmm. I guess. I don't know. I don't use OBS. I mean, I use OBS, but...
Very strange.
You're dual streaming as well.
Yeah, and it had been showing all the... Well, it's showing the Twitch ones, but the top eventually goes away, so I can't see stuff from earlier in the stream.
Well, that whole section is bumped up, isn't it?
Yep. Quite a bit, too. If I had a ruler, it'd be like, what, 6, 8 inches?
That's what she said.
That's what she said. No, she probably said 4, but... Konoi is 71? Is that what you're saying? You're 71?
Size doesn't matter.
Size doesn't matter. Baloney.
Secretly
Baloney.
whispering, yes it does.
Yes, it does. And it depends on how you use it. Yeah, so now what would you do? Would you bring them all up to meet that? Or would you just sink the top pieces down into that?
Well, let's see if I can do a reverse. I think it's the symbol. Because that's right where it starts going up the symbol.
Oh, I see. Yeah, the design on the floor.
Yeah.
Because it is a 3D raised symbol. Yes.
I'm finding though that if you do the Jubal method,
it didn't seem to lift it up that much on this side, but we're not on.
Where
we are on top of it on this
sink
side.
it down past a little bit, you can slowly edge it up. So if you want to try,
I wonder if my Twitch.
Let me put one more.
I wonder if my
So
Twitch
if you
stream is working over here.
If you want to try doing one, because you're gonna need to know how to do this too. My world just got super dark, super annoying. I don't know why it does that.
Your game, the world?
Yeah, my game world just got super dark.
That's funny because it's morning, so why would it get darker?
I don't know.
So you wanted me to try to what, sink it like we taught you how to do? Go underneath the game floor?
Not that far. So if you bring one up next to the ones I was working on and kind of mesh it in like you would mesh it. No, go up to where you would mesh it in. Like on the right side. Or the right side. Your other right, Grandma.
My other right. Right here?
Yeah, there you go.
Well, it's too far in, but that's the idea.
Right, so, but, let me show you the technique I was talking about, though. If you, put one out, and then you mesh it in as far as you wanted to mesh it.
Okay. Now I've got you up on the Discord.
I don't know, I'm staring at your screen.
Huh?
On YouTube.
Oh.
Oh, you're watching my Discord.
I'm watching your Discord. So you could show me what you were showing me.
Okay. I was like, I don't know, I'm just staring at your character's boobie.
My boobie? My headlight?
Which, thank God, that is one thing they fixed.
Right? I was tired of my boobs disappearing.
Okay, so, because we can't quite tell from this angle if it's bumped up or not. But you can see I've got it meshed in.
Yeah.
Right? So if I lift up and then drop it down one more and leave it there and then tilt up your view.
Ah, gotcha.
You can make it match.
Gotcha. Okay.
Or come pretty dang close.
Yeah.
Right?
Be very delicate.
So, like, there's just a little bit of discrepancy with this one sticking up slightly, but it's not going to be enough to make a big difference. But like if you go to just lay one in though, it'll really bump it up, that notch that was happening. So what I'm seeing is if you lift it up a little bit off the ground and then use that arrow pad to drop it down and drop it down below where the rest are, you can slowly bring it up to match the level. And that might be how you get around it getting knocked up from the debris.
So set it and then bring it up.
Close your window out. Yeah, like that, and then bring it up slowly. But you're where those tiles are, so it might be trying to snap.
How's that?
Yeah. Super, super fine adjustments. Yep.
Yeah, Eppers was going to tell me how to do that for the controller to get it to be more sensitive, and I haven't done it yet.
Well, it's too sensitive. It's not going slow enough.
Oh, is that what it is? I need, because I can't tell when you go in there and it says, you know, can adjust the slider. I'm like, do I want it more sensitive or less sensitive?
That has nothing to do with these controls.
Oh.
Unfortunately, it's only for shooting. And it only does the left stick, not the right stick, which is the stick we would need it for.
Okay.
Remember I was bitching about that during the one update when they were like, "Hey, we gave you control over your sensitivity." And I was like, "Everything but what controller people need."
The right stick.
The only thing they gave you control over adjusting the sensitivity to is for using your mouse with shooting. It's your mouse control. But on the controller, you get no right stick sensitivity control. It's all left stick sensitivity control. And the right stick is what we use as controllers to manipulate everything.
Gotcha.
So you give those a try. I'm going to start putting in the second layer here so you can get a feel for what this is going to look like, because that was one of the things you had a question on.
Yep. Let me close that so I can see this. Nope, close that. Boy, the learning curve just to learn how to use two screens. Oh my gosh. Yep,
You'll get it,
71
though.
is still gaming. Yep, that's the way it goes, Co. Gotta stay young. And these days, staying young is getting harder and harder.
Oh, especially if you want to try and play a game that needs reflexes.
Right? I was just talking to somebody the other day. I cannot fly or drive to save my life. When it gets really difficult and I have to, you know, fly or drive a boat or something, I'm always like, grandson, come and help me, get me past this part.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, it's pretty sad. I was playing Nathan Drake. I don't know if you've played that one. And there's this whole oh, that looks terrible. This whole sequence where you're driving a boat, jet boat, and shooting. So you have to pay attention to what you're driving. Well, I guess you call it driving with a jet boat. And then you're shooting, and you have to pay attention to where you're also more delicate in the driving, because there's like these, what do you call them, bombs in the water? What do you call those? Landmines, water mines in the water.
Yeah.
And so you can't just go blasting down there, because you got to be like, oh, where's the landmine, or the, what are they? They don't call it a landmine, whatever it's called. So I'm like, this isn't happening. Yeah. So that's when I call the grandson to come and help. Okay. Down, 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 up, down, down, down. Oh, it won't let me go down that way.
Yeah, just slowly bring it up. Slowly tilt up.
Fine tune. What's that? That's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. But it's better too if you set it in place and then drop it down so you're not moving forward and back. Because if you do have a debris thing there, when you move forward or back, it's going to try and catch that, right?
Okay.
But
So
if you set it in place where you want it to be, and then drop it down, and then do the tilt up.
oh, okay. So drop it down where I want it to be.
Yeah, but remember where you're working right now is where those foundation pieces are. That's why it's snapping.
Okay. Now, if I come from the other direction, will it snap to the column rather than that foundation?
It's
No.
going to snap to the foundation. Because we're putting the base layer in.
Yeah. It's really wanting to snap there, or I have to bring it out here. But then it's going straight, huh? Yeah. It's going straight. So
Let me see what I can do. Since it's got that stupid foundation stuck underneath the debris. That's what's making it so hard. It's not usually this difficult. So don't worry, it's not you, Grandma.
Not me, Grandma. I want to know why my chat all of a sudden isn't working. The YouTube chat isn't working. I'll have to talk to Jubo.
Just realized I'm using column shafts.
Probably something I did in StreamerBot today. So it'd have to be very, very delicate. So you're burying it a little bit, or you're using the shaft instead of the column base?
Well, I'm using the shaft because I'm an idiot and I selected the shaft.
Oh, that's all right. I was just trying to see what you were doing.
Yep. So, if you want to watch my screen, again, I'll show you what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
So, see how it keeps trying to snap to the back
Yeah,
side?
it does.
The minute I can get it to go in the middle, like there, right there, I stop moving, and I just look up. And then I use the D-pad to drop it down.
Oh, so
See,
you're
now
not
it's down
moving the
below?
body. Your body.
Yeah, don't move the body because... And there we go. And then I look up just slightly. Bink. So get it to mesh in. The problem is you're going to have trouble making this look circular here because of the stupid,
The
foundation.
got stuck under there.
And the stupid building plan bars in my way as well. So let me try that.
So the tower idea might work on one side, but because of where the seal lands on this side, the tower might not be as...
No, I think it'll work.
You think it'll work?
You might have to do this technique on this section at the seal.
Okay.
Is all. And it would be a lot easier. Oh my gosh, are we sinking it too low? It would be a lot easier if I didn't have that stupid foundation stuck in the ground.
Wonder why you can't break it out of there. That's stupid.
I don't know. It's really frustrating. So close. Close enough. All right. That's close enough. That should be close enough to give you an idea.
Yeah.
All right, let's get this layer in. Did you want to throw these in there?
The top,
Get some
the
more
top
practice
columns,
throwing
the top
throwing
columns.
another layer in?
Yeah. All right. shaft.
Sorry.
It does make it easier because now it'll snap to the bottom.
Yeah. There you go. See, you can see when you're going to be offset. We're missing a piece there. Yeah, that one's going to have a gap. Don't worry about it. Because there's nothing below it, so you're good.
Okay.
Let me see if I can bury one in there for you.
Now there's quite a bit more gap in these compared to the other side over there, though.
Well, it just looks like that, I think, because it's turning on the edge of the...
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? Because these don't orientate. They don't rotate with the circle.
Right.
So the pattern is going to always change when you're looking at it from a different angle.
Because see, it looks so flat right here.
Yeah, that's because I started out.
Here.
I started out a little too flat. That was me.
Yeah. Just helps me understand the nuance, the time it's going to take to, you know, get it to look the way I want. So it's definitely something I don't want to do on stream because it's either going to take 3 days to do one side or I'm going to be cursing a lot.
Well, and what do you want your people to see? Do you want your people to see how the building really is, or just a facade of what you think it is?
Yeah.
That was when I first started playing Moria, and I was trying to figure out how to play. One of the things that annoyed me was that so many of the videos, people just cut out most of the gameplay.
Right.
So you didn't see all the mining that they had to do. You didn't see all the running around they had to do. Which is why I kind of made a point when I started making my videos that I was just going to straight up do only gameplay. I wasn't going to edit 3 hours down to 15 minutes.
Right.
So people could actually get a sense of what the game is like.
Yeah. And I did the same from the beginning. I show all the steps, but I might not mine everything. I might go back and get, you know, if I want to get a super stack, a huge stack, I might go back and mine a great big room off stream. But I do some building and mining. But I think the one thing I try not to do is I use a dump box instead of spending all that time running around putting things in individual boxes. And then I'll organize the dump box later.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's see what this looks like.
The ones that really bothered me was when the game first...
Did you take those wall segments down?
No. Oh, the ones on this side I did, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you did that, so I was just gonna like, wait a minute, does something just cause those to explode?
Yeah, no. They would do a speed run. Absolutely hate speed runs. I'm like, what's the point of playing the game if you're just going to zip through it in a day? You know?
Well, if you're wanting to make a world that's buildable.
You know, it just seems to be about the end result. You know, let's beat every boss and get to the end boss and then we're done. I'm like, you can't really appreciate a game like this when you do that.
Right, but I mean, if it's your second or third time playing, I could see the point of a speed run because you're trying to open up stuff so you can build in it.
True. I guess that'd be one way to look at it. But for them, it was just one and done, and they didn't play it anymore. You know, they didn't.
Yeah. That was somebody doing a video just to do a video on a new game.
Right.
That's what that was. They didn't want to actually play the game. They just wanted to make a video.
Right.
Too far off, right? You might be able to suck the one on the right in a little bit more.
Oh, as far as being centered. Yeah, it's not actually that bad.
I mean, and you can add some stuff to it. You just have to be strategic with how you do it. Right? So if you wanted to find a spot that seemed to be fitting the compass locations. if you wanted to add elements,
Me?
you know. It's just difficult because they're all so big.
Yeah.
And they only go at 90 degrees.
Yeah, I've started a game in RuneScape, and you have a lot more. You got a lot more play with how you can rotate things in RuneScape. I like that. You just added that in there. That's a nice little. How did you get you? That's what you were just talking about, compass points where they'll turn sideways or flat.
Yeah, because you're not going to be able to put that in like on the corner here, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But it adds a nice little feature though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was also thinking of the columns with the vine on them too, and putting them kind of sporadic through here.
But you can, like, take a section, because that's like one, depending on how tight you put them, right? So like for me, I guess I do put mine pretty tight, because if I delete one, you can barely see a gap in there. This is a much bigger gap than I normally have.
Okay.
So I guess I do mesh mine in pretty tight. But you can, if I can get this in here. Hello? You're gonna prove me wrong? You're gonna prove me wrong.
Oh, you're gonna try to put a light in there.
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
You can put a torch to kind of highlight it if you
Yeah.
wanted to put windows in it or something.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose
guess you'd
it's
have
not
to-
usable behind it, but you could use it as decorative. You know, you can't really use the space behind it.
Whoop!
Maybe, I don't know,
Well,
storage
I can't
maybe?
jump up, I guess. I was gonna say you could try and put a column behind it.
Why would I put a column behind it?
If you didn't want the white stone showing.
Ah, yeah. Through the window, yeah.
You'd probably put that in, put the granite section behind it first.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you'd be able to add it afterwards. Let's see. Because the torch is there.
Yeah, it would, yeah, it'd be red, right? It wouldn't let you. I don't know if I'd want to get rid of the white. I mean, I love the white floors and stuff if you could get them cleaned up.
Oh, I don't know where that landed, but it's not anywhere near close.
Oh, where the column?
There's that perspective issue.
Yeah, it's from the right. I have a lot of trouble with the depth perception in this game. That's why I didn't even know the floors in that last place weren't even touching the ground. Do you need to go out, dog? Hang on a second. I'm going to let these dogs out.
Yeah, it would be nice if they would.
Sorry, I unplugged just as you were talking. It would be nice when what?
You know how they give you the outline of the object that you're working with? It would be nice if they gave us a different colored outline with the objects it is interacting with. So that you see what you're actually touching. Because you think you're touching XYZ, like I think I'm touching this post, but I might not be touching it at all, right?
Especially because our head gets in the way sometimes.
Well, and then you have that stupid build box
Yeah.
at the top. That's always right in my face. And if you're holding a torch for some ungodly reason while you're trying to build, the torch light isn't. They move. Your character moves the torch light to be in the center of your vision. Have you ever tried that? That's a freaking mess.
The torchlight?
If you happen to be holding a torch because it's earlier in the game,
right.
and you go to build, your character moves the torch in front of your face. So it's in the center of your screen while you're trying to build.
You're right. It does.
And for somebody like me that has light sensitivity, that's like a freaking light bulb sitting right in the middle of my screen
Yeah,
while I'm trying to stare past it to see what I'm building. That's why I
exactly.
put torches up everywhere. I put my safety
Ah,
torches
okay. Gotcha.
because I don't have the Everginian armor from Sandbox.
The Uragion, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that armor. I like the other cosmetic stuff too, but I just hate not being able to see. I hate having to have a torch out, whether it's the Zarak torch or regular
Well, that's why I
torch.
was happy when I realized the shield does a pretty
Yeah,
good job of lighting up
yeah.
the area.
It does a pretty good job, yeah. All right, well, I think I have an idea of what I gotta do.
Cool.
I just gotta decide if I like it, right? I'll have to do it and go, okay, does it look gaudy? Can I make it look attractive? And I think if you add vines and the accents like you did here and maybe some windows.
Well, and Jubo's sunken vines into her tower, right?
Yeah.
So because you have like the vine posts.
Yep. And then I saw her use the vine lattice and she would bury it a little bit in the granite wall. So it looks like the vine is just kind of going through the lattice or through the wall, not like a big rectangle. The way she would recess it back, it would
Right.
look like the vine belonged there. Like it had worked its way through the granite.
I'm surprised nobody dropped into the chat tonight.
Or yeah, the voice chat. Thought somebody might, but everybody's sleeping.
Yeah, so the other option is square box.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to avoid. It was just
And
a
I don't
thought.
have
I'm just like, oh, I kind of hate this, and if it'd be nice to build a nice base in here, but
I didn't bring a builder's pack with me, so we can't like throw banners up here and stuff. But you could
yeah,
throw flags, right? Switch
yeah,
between flags and banners depending on what side you're on.
mm-hmm, yep. And then decide how far up I'd want to go. I'd want to go up at least 1 or 2, 3, maybe 4 tall. And then how could you could you cap the top at all? Like you couldn't put a roof piece up there, could you?
You can. It's just gonna because it's a circle, right? You got a square
Yeah.
hole in a circle.
Yeah. That'd be odd.
But you can cap it off. There's just not a ridge to do unless you do another crown, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's what we were doing with Jubos. You can put crown pieces up here.
Yeah. And the next one isn't gonna be, it's gonna stick out funky. Yeah.
Well, you're not going to be able to do a roof. That's
Right.
not going to happen. It would be square. But you can put, the crown pieces
Yeah.
to have a detail. I mean, you could even, hey, Grandma, this is something you could do. Instead of using the shafts, if you want to play it up a little bit with something different, you could try doing
What you just did there?
the top
Oh,
pieces
yeah.
the whole way. I'm
Jabowski,
trying to.
thanks for following. Well, the Twitch chat's working. The YouTube chat's not up there. Thank you,
Okay, so
Jabowski. We're doing a little
I'm having
building.
trouble with it because I'm on the floor.
So you could
To
just
get that
kind of put them
to-
random, or you could put them all array. Now, is that the
Well,
top piece of a
whoops.
column? Is that the top of the column?
Yeah, that's the top of the same column set. So
Oh,
I'm
is that
trying
what
to,
rude? Is that rude? Is that what they're doing? They're raiding me? I'm still learning all this raid stuff.
Oh, you got raided?
I've got raided. I got raided once before too. Rude usually drags them in here. Oh, Nolia Blue raided me.
From our
Ah,
kitty cat stream.
kitty cat stream. Wasn't
Yeah,
you
she's
this
doing
time.
big
Thanks,
hits.
Rude. Noya Blue rated me. That's cool. Now, how come I only saw it like in my chat? Would if I had been looking at my Twitch stream, would I have seen something on the Twitch stream itself? Would something
If
have
you put
popped up?
if you put alerts in your OBS, which I could show you how to do, it'll actually show on your OBS.
Ah, okay.
But you have to have like sound and everything enabled.
Now, does somebody watching the stream see that a raid is happening, or it's
Only on Twitch,
only on Twitch?
I think. But if you have it set in your OBS as well, then that might be too much.
I almost think I liked it when you had them staggered.
Well, I mean, it's up to you. I'm showing you,
Yeah,
I'm giving you a flavor, right? I kind of like that actually.
yeah, I do too. Now you said I asked you, and then I didn't pay attention to your answer. That's the top of that column,
Mm-hmm.
the top crown of the
Yeah.
small column crown.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nice. That does give it a lot more character, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not just a flat wall. So instead of using the shaft sections, you could just use the tops. Because they'll snap together as well, right?
These dogs are driving me crazy tonight. Okay.
So, but if you have your alerts set on OBS, then they would show up in your YouTube stream as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I probably did something with my chat when I went into Streamer Bots to try to turn down the ding before I started the stream, or adjust the ding, or I was adjusting something. Oh, I was trying to adjust the music that comes on with the opening screen, the starting screen music. I was trying to turn that down, and I must have affected the chat because I'm not seeing the YouTube chat on the OBS. Anyway, all right. Well, now I've got some ideas, don't I?
Nice.
Yeah.
And it's just that first layer is the one that's the trickiest. Once you get
bottom.
that,
Yeah.
as you've seen, doing the successive layers going up top, the biggest problem you have is just getting up there.
Yeah.
So you will have to build a platform.
Yeah.
But normally you could get away with, like for this, you could get away with just putting a platform up on one side, going up as you get higher, right? Because you can walk along the top as you're laying them.
Yeah.
Just be careful when you get really high.
Yeah, I'd likely kill myself.
Wear that ring armor. Wear the ring armor.
Yes, I think I have it. I think Axebear gave me a set. I think I have the boots too, and I haven't used them because he talks about running off a cliff, you know. So I haven't used them yet. But I did get a glamdring from Jubo to destroy some stuff when I was building. Okay.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely. Now you've got to go spruce up your tower now. And give it some character.
Might have to.
Yeah.
That's like skipping every couple.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you did one where it kind of was staggered down a little bit, like it kind of came down a little bit.
Well, that was me just trying to
Yeah.
align it, and I was doing a bad job.
I kind of liked it though, the way it staggered down.
Yeah. And you'll notice with these, I don't know if it works the same with the others, but it's easier to like make it go halfway because it's almost like it uses those notches that are built into it to have it be halfway.
Oh, okay. There you go.
That's how I was able to adjust those other columns. Not because of these notches, because I use the other columns.
Yeah.
But I just buried it at differing increments until finally, when I got up to the top row, I had magically somehow gotten it to be all even all the way across. So I could put a floor. Because that one half tower that's in the front has a floor on top of it. Because it's a parapet.
Oh, so you can climb up there and shoot things.
Well, just walk along as guard, yeah,
Yeah.
or shoot things. I'm not a big shooter. It has to do with the, hand-eye coordination and reflexes.
Yeah.
I'm just a button smasher.
Yeah, I'm good at that too.
You should see me trying to do spells on Oblivion. Oh my god. Because you have this tiny little dot that you can't see.
Yep. I'm thinking of starting a series because I also started the game, but I can't decide if I'm going to do it on my computer or on my PlayStation. That's one of the very first games I remember playing on the PlayStation years ago.
What was that? Oblivion?
Oblivion, yeah.
Oh.
And Morrowind, I think it was Morrowind before that, right? I think.
Yeah. That's what I hear. I don't know. I've never played any of them.
Yeah. I've already got a Skyrim series going, so that's why I thought maybe I'd do an Oblivion one too.
Sure.
All right, I gotta go deal with these animals, so I'm gonna hop out.
Yep. I gotta get ready for bed.
Yeah. So I want to thank everybody who joined. Konoi and Gaming Dragon and Rude.
Nolia.
Chabowski and Nolia. There's probably others. Yeah. But thanks. Thanks for coming out.
Hopefully we gave you some tips on doing circular buildings.
Circular building.